Hello everyone, my name is Tyler and I put together a bunch of different videos. I believe there's about 14 interviews in here of people just giving their true and honest answers to basically how Alexis affected their lives. She was truly an inspiration and a light that touched so many people. And these are just some of the people that wanted to show how much she really meant. So, without further ado, let's go.
Hi everyone, I am Thomas Power and I am 17 years old.
Hi, my name is Hayden. I'm 10 years old.
I'm Avery Bame and I'm 17.
I'm Nicole Wu and I'm 16 years old.
Hi, I'm Olivia Langding and I'm a junior at Mandan High School.
My name is Michael. I'm 13 years old.
I'm Raina Hanley. I am currently 33.
My name is Kira Meski. I am 16.
Hi, I'm Lauren Michael. I'm 17 years old.
My name's Morgan. I'm 34 years old.
Hello, Sierra here. Most of you know me. I'm 17, turning 18 in 3 months.
Hi, my name is Ethan. I'm 14 years old.
I'm Michaela Lands. I'm 12 years old.
Hello, my name is Tyler Bay. I am 19.
I've known Alexis about as long as I can possibly remember. Her and I went to elementary school, middle school, and high school together. We've also been training partners at Krav since the first day. That's really how I knew her. That's really how we got to know each other and how we became friends.
Alexis Griffin was my teacher.
I met her, I think she was in my kindergarten class. I'm not exactly sure, I don't remember much from it, but we met in school.
Alexis was my classmate and my friend.
We had a bunch of classes together all throughout high school and middle school.
Then I knew Alexis through Krav.
And I know Alexis through Krav Maga.
I knew Lexi because she was my best friend. Not only my best friend, but my sister.
I knew Alexis through school. We've had multiple classes together over the years that I've been at Mandan.
How I knew Alexis, well, her mother is kind of my aunt.
I knew Alexis from Krav Maga. She was one of the student leaders when I first joined.
I knew Alexis through Krav.
So, I had the great fortune to know Alexis through a couple different things. Mainly, obviously, Krav Maga. But I also knew her through band, through school, and just through personal life. We hung out, talked, that kind of stuff.
My first memory of Alexis was actually at a Krav summer camp. We became partners during a drill, and I don't think the two of us actually even did the technique. To be quite honest, I'm pretty sure we just talked the entire time.
I met Alexis at the North Dakota Krav School.
We were at the gymnastics place at City Hall, and we were like 6 years old, but she was wearing her little pink glasses, and I said I wanted to try them much, so she let me, and then I went and did like a cartwheel, and they flew off, and I gave them back to her. And she's the reason I have glasses, because I thought they were so cool, so then I went and wore other people's glasses and made myself blind.
The first memory that I had that I can remember with her was when we had band class together, and when we had jazz band together, and when we had math together. And she would always let me put her saxophone together every morning for jazz band because I always wanted to, so she let me.
We always rode together on the bus home every day all throughout middle school. Me, Alexis, and then another girl named Alexis. Us three always squished and sat in the same seat together. And we always just had a good time laughing and messing around, and always got in fights with all the other boys on the bus every day after school. It was just always so fun.
my initial impression when I first met Alexis, it was, who is this girl with the hair? Because she had done the ombre look. And the ombre look with like a red, I think, but it was kind of like fading and mostly grown out. But I was just like, who is this girl with kind of the go to hell attitude? Just doesn't care. Always wearing shorts. I never understood that. I did not know how she did all of our Krav testing, most of our summertime Krav in shorts. That was beyond me. I mean, also explains why she was constantly bruised and scraped up, but always in the shorts.
The first day of 6th grade, I walked into math class and saw her there, and she just looked like the type of girl that would be friends with anyone, and I was really nervous. So I went over to her and we instantly hit it off and we started talking.
We first met through school. We had classes together. She was always so helpful. If I didn't understand something or I had a question on something, I was always able to go to her and she'd explain it to me, and she'd take time out of her day, out of her class, to make sure I knew what I was doing, as well as she'd be able to get her own stuff done as well. And I appreciate it so much. She was able to help me pass English this first semester of this year.
I first met Alexis when we joined at the NDKM school. She was one of the student leaders that got the pleasure of teaching my rambunctious kids when they first started at the Krav school.
I'm gonna go ahead and assume the hospital bedroom she was born in, you know? So.
I actually don't remember the first time I actually met Alexis. However, she started about a year after I started. And I remember going up through training with her, training for junior black belt. And I just remember like thinking, man, this is one tough girl.
She had the most infectious laugh. We all know that if you've ever heard her laugh. She would start going, and then you just couldn't help but just laugh along with her. Her laugh just brought out the joy inside of you, and it was amazing. Alexis was the biggest goofball there possibly ever was. But I think the one thing that really speaks upon who Alexis is the fact that no matter who you are, no matter what your issue was, no matter what, she was always there for you. She was always there to support you and to care for you.
My favorite thing about Alexis is that she was nice.
No matter where you were, who you were, or what you were to her, she would always, like, every memory I have of her is happy. I don't have one sad memory of her.
Her kindness. No matter who you are, even if she hated you, she would still be nice to you. If you ever needed help, she would always help you with either homework or even like personal matters.
She is so kind to everybody and so welcoming and warm, and I always knew that everywhere I went, if she was there, I knew that I had a friend with me, and she would always make sure that I was comfortable, that I had someone to talk to. And every day in this year in Spanish class, her and Kira, every time they saw me, they would be like, "Oh my gosh, I love your shoes," or "You look really nice today," and it always made my day.
And my favorite thing about her was she was always nice, no matter what.
It was her smile. She just had the biggest smile, and her laugh was so contagious, and it's just like you hear it and you had to have laughed, like you had to. She was also just so sweet and talked to everybody and helped everybody out. She didn't just pick like a certain friend group. She talked to literally everybody, and that's just something that I loved about her.
She was always so happy and positive and just such a good friend. You could go and talk to her about something and she'd listen, and she's supportive, and she's just always there for you, and just such a genuine happy friend that are just such good aspects in a person.
My favorite thing about Alexis was that she was always happy. It didn't matter what was going on. She was always happy when she'd come into the school. It didn't matter if she was tired, if she didn't want to do something, she was always upbeat about it. She'd come in, and if you were having a bad day, she'd kind of bring the mood up for everybody that was around her.
Every time we would go to a family event, if I showed up before her, I would text her, like literally every 5 minutes and be like, are you here yet? Like, are you here yet? Are you here yet? Or vice versa. Or if I just wouldn't come over to a family event because I'm with my mom's side and she was at the event, she would text me the same, nonstop, are you here yet? Even though she knew I wasn't coming. And then proceed to tell me, every time, you betrayed me.
One of my favorite things about Alexis is that she's always positive. Nothing brings her down, no matter what it is.
My favorite thing about Alexis was probably her personality. She was always smiling and always happy. She was always willing to help you too.
Her laugh. She had one of the most infectious laughs I have ever heard in my life. Literally anytime she laughed or smiled or anything, it was almost impossible to not laugh and smile at that. Just her.
What wasn't she? She was my best friend, my sister, my shoulder to cry on, a leader, a hero. She was everything. Every character in the book was her.
Alexis was my teacher and my friend, but she was more like a big sister.
Alexis meant a lot. We were never really best friends, but we were always friends and we were always close. And no matter how much time was between when we would talk, I would always still feel comfortable around her to share whatever.
Alexis to me was a really good friend. No matter how long we wouldn't talk, we didn't talk, I don't think we talked at all in 9th grade because we didn't have any classes together, but when we got to 10th grade and when we had math together, we just talked all the time. We had such a good time. I was really weird and she was just she probably thought I was weird, but she just accepted me. She accepted everyone for who they were.
She was just such a good friend because I always knew that she would have my back and she would help me with my homework. I would help her with her homework. We would always just be there for one another. And all throughout jazz band, we weren't really good friends with that many people there, especially in middle school and jazz band. So we'd always hang out together and she'd always make sure that I was there, I was having a good time, and I was comfortable.
She was a really good friend.
Alexis was just such a sweet girl. I always would go to her in Krav as kind of my rock on when I was not understanding how to do certain moves or aspect, especially when it came to grappling. She was always there, so patient. Really just an amazing teacher and person. They're just not kids at all, so it was really strange because I wasn't, I'm not in high school and they're not, adults, I guess, technically, but man, did they just ever act like adults.
She meant the world to me. She did so much in such a short period of time of me and her becoming super duper close. She's the one that got me to start talking to my dad again. Me and him didn't have the best relationship and she pushed me to start talking to him, and I will forever be thankful for her for doing that. Without her, I wouldn't have been able to get through Spanish class for a semester. She really meant everything to me. She's the one that I would talk to as soon as I woke up. The one that I would talk to when I would go to bed. I FaceTimed her all the time. And she was there when I would get into arguments with my parents. And she always knew how to calm me down. I was having bad nights.
She was a friend I could confide in, as well as someone I could just be like, text her, hey, I'm bored, do you want to hang out? And we'd find something to do and it'd be fun. She was always able to we were able to just figure something out, and it was always fun.
Alexis, I think, was a lot to all of us. She was a friend, she was a student, she was a team member, but I think most importantly, she felt more like a family member to pretty much everybody that she interacted with.
Well, most of you kind of knew us as more like sisters than anything, because I don't have a sister, and so she was kind of this little sister I never got to have, or best friend. A lot of my friends knew her as my best friend.
Alexis was a really close friend to me. We knew each other at school and Krav, and it was really nice to know her.
She was my mentor when I was becoming the student leader, so she taught me a lot. She's like a teacher to me, but she was more than that. She's family. She was like my older sister, and I went to her for a lot of things.
That's a tough question. Saying Alexis was just a friend it just doesn't fit everything she was to me. She was, of course, an amazing friend of mine. One of my best friends. There was pretty much nothing I wouldn't be able to tell her or talk about. She also was a partner, training partner. Role model, not only to me, but also to, all the kids we taught and just other people in general. She helped me when I wanted to start this business. I knew that as long as I had Thomas and her with me, it would work out. I'd say that was mainly what she was to me. Just a friend that was always there.
Just all the memories we have of Krav together. At Krav is where we built our bonds and our friendship, all of our inside jokes, and honestly so much more. I think those are my favorite memories because they are who Alexis was at her core and who she was with me.
I was on the Ireland trip, and I was with her a lot. She was so funny in Ireland. Okay, my favorite memory is when me and Aubrey went to Maddie Pringle in her room in our swimsuits, put on our ponchos, and started dancing in the room. It was so dumb, but it was so funny.
In 8th grade, we both got selected into all-state band, and the night before the concert, me being me again, being like a master procrastinator, didn't have a shirt to wear for the performance the next day. And Alexis was so kind that she asked her mom if we can go to Kohl's and buy a shirt for me. And when we got to Kohl's, they both just started like looking at all the racks, seeing, oh, try this shirt on, try this. So we had so much fun. And then after that, we also went to Cold Stone, and this was like 9 or 10 o'clock, and the next day we had to go and perform for Allstate. So they also bought me Cold Stone, which was very nice, and I'll be forever grateful for that.
After I got pied in the face, I offered everyone else at Krav a piece of my pie, and they all said no, except for her. So it was just her and me eating pie together.
But I was able to make it to the last test, and I just remember Alexis was the first one of all the kids testing to see me and recognize me, and she was screaming from, I think she in a kayak or a canoe? I don't know. She was with Thomas in the water at the dam, and she was like, Rita!
God, there's so many. Just the amount of FaceTimes and calls and text messages and going to lunch with her every day and her being the first one that I saw in the morning. There was so many great memories, like just the football games that we would go to, or spending time in class together, going to weddings. It's just like there's just these little things. Probably the day before the accident happened, and I was sitting in Spanish class next to her, and we just got done taking this really, really long test all day. And we were sitting in there watching a movie, and I moved back to sit by her, and I had such an urge to go and grab her hand. And I wasn't going to do it, and I'm so thankful that I did. I'm so thankful. And I just got to hold her hand one more time. And sit and talk to her one more time. Or when I got home later after school that evening, and I called her and she was getting ready to go to her dad's, and she was packing for Thanksgiving, and she was getting so excited because she was going to do the thing with her hair. And she was like, I'm finally going to do it, Kira. I really am going to. I wanted to do it. And she was like getting all of the socks out, and she picked out her outfit with her favorite sweater and the jean jacket that she always wore. And she was like, I think I'm going to wear mascara tomorrow. I want to look good tomorrow. And I just talked to her for a little bit, and then I went to South Dakota, and I kept talking to her. Or there's just so many that it's like I could go on for hours with talking about them.
Early November of this year, I dyed my hair blue, but I didn't tell her I dyed my hair blue. She thought I was just doing a purple shampoo, which tones your hair, but I did actual dye. And then when I Snapchatted her like an hour later and I had blue hair, she was freaking out because she thought I accidentally dyed it, like I bought the wrong product. But once I explained everything and cleared it up, she thought it was pretty funny and that she liked it.
I don't really have any favorite memories of Alexis. I think all of my memories of Alexis are unique in their own special way. It doesn't matter if it was the Christmas party or the sleepover, or if it was during the summer camp. We had a bunch of different memories that I will always cherish. Down at the river, watching her flip my kids into the water, the way she would beat up and handle any of the adults on the mat. They'll all be cherished memories.
God, there's so many. But my all-time favorite, I think it was like a year or two ago, and I was staying in New Salem with my dad. We were supposed to hang out that night, but I decided to go out and see him. And I'm just home alone, hungry, refused to cook because I'll probably burn down the kitchen, and she knows that. And I was watching Magic Mike 2, not as good as the first. And I texted her, and then I was like, yo, and she was like, what, traitor? Because I didn't go hang out with her. And then I was like, I'm hungry, and she was like, make some food. And then I was like, I can't cook. And she was like, well, then go ahead and starve. And then I was like, and then she was like, what do you want? And then I was like, I want McDonald's. And she's like, are you serious? I'm like, yes. And she's like, where are you? I'm like, New Salem. I literally got here a half hour ago, put on a movie, and I want food now. And she would give me so much trash for it. And then finally she just stopped texting me. I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden I see headlights pulling into the farm. I'm like, okay, that's kind of creepy. Thought it was my dad maybe. And here it is, Alexis. She drove like 30 to 40 miles, bought me McDonald's, and brought it to me just because I would not stop texting her how hungry I was. And then when I got there, and then I was like, aren't you gonna eat? And she's like, I'm not even hungry. And then I'm like, do you want gas money? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay. And then she's like, so you're gonna invite me to stay and hang out? Or I'm like, didn't realize we had to invite each other. But she ended up staying with me for probably like an hour, and then went home. She drove all the way out there just to bring me food. So
one of my favorite memories was probably hanging out at the Kalos with the black belts, everyone that got their black belt then.
One of my favorite memories with her was driving home in her car with her, because I had to go shower at her house after one of my black belt tests. And we were just sitting there and talking with each other, and it was a good time.
Now see, I think this is the hardest one to answer. My favorite memory. Because I have just so many like amazing memories of her and like with her that it is so hard to pick one. I think I'll talk about one of my last memories instead of her. No, it was the 26th because it was the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. So yeah, it was the 26th. And I had asked Alexis, because we were on break that whole week, I had asked Alexis to come in to the gym and help me film a video. And I asked Alexis if she could meet me a little bit early, and she said yeah. And so we came here, and a video that easily should have taken like maybe 10 minutes. It took like close to an hour. It was mainly because we kept messing up and like goofing around. She says action, we start filming, and almost immediately she like cracks up and starts laughing. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, why? And obviously, you know, as I mentioned before, her laugh made me just like break down and laugh. I was struggling because I kept messing up the words. And she kept making fun of me for it. And I finally get it almost perfect. And right as I'm about to finish, she takes like one of these foam balls and like throws it at me in the middle of filming, totally ruining the shot. But it was just so that way she could laugh and like mess me up one more time, right as I was about to get it.
Happy birthday, Alexis. Happy birthday. You touched the lives and hearts of so many people in this world, and this video is evidence of that. It makes it apparent how much impact you had on all of us. You were a hero and a leader, a friend to everyone around you. And the memories that you gave me, you gave your friends, you gave your family, they will never be forgotten. Alexis, I love and miss you more than anyone could possibly imagine. Happy birthday, you dork. I love you.
I love you and I miss you. And I hope your family is okay. Even though I didn't really know them, I still feel for them and I love them. That's it.
Just really miss Alexis.
Miss her a lot, and yeah.
She was always there. If you were sad, she'd cheer you up, and she was always there for you, always making things better.
And these kids probably just don't realize what their enthusiasm and joy mean to me, and I'm sure all of the other adults that are involved in their lives, because we are just so intertwined. Always touches my heart, you know, to know that they feel kind of the same way, and this strange bond that we're in through our love to beat each other and other people up, I guess.
I just wanted to say thank you to Alexis for making me into the person that I am today. And thank you for coming into my life. And for coming into my life at the perfect time when I needed it and when she needed it as well. I've gotten in like little arguments with my friends. Everybody does, but me and Lexi, we never got into one argument. And I miss her so much. And I just want to say thank you again. And thank you to Christy for letting me be such good friends with her. And you, without Lexi, my life wouldn't have been the same. I'll forever be thankful for her. And I miss her more than anything, and I talk to her all the time, but I know I'll get to see her again, and that's what's kind of keeping me together. But anyway, I'm glad I was able to make this video because I knew she would have loved it, and I knew she would have been really excited for her 17th birthday.
In closing comments, Lexi was such a genuine person and such a good friend to so many people. She's loved and missed by so many people, and she will be for a long time.
My last comment is, I love you, Alexis, and I always will.
There is so much that I want to tell you. I think the main thing I'd want to say is, I hope wherever you are, you're happy, having fun. It shouldn't be very hard for you. You always made even the most boring tasks fun. And I know I'm like crying right now, breaking down, but I am, very happy to have gotten the time that I did with you. And very, just very happy to have known you.
Okay, I just quickly wanted to say I think I found and remembered me and Lexi's favorite memory that I have, and I definitely have to say it's when we found our snowball dresses together. And I remember I made her try on the craziest dresses, ones that she would never ever wear, but I made her try them on because I think it'd be so funny. But then I was like, what about this one? And I showed it to her, and she tried it on, and it just fit her perfectly, and it looked so good on her, and she loved it so much, and she smiled, the biggest smile I've ever seen on her face, and she was so excited to go to Snowball. That's probably my all-time favorite memory. Just being there with her, finding that dress with her, and seeing her smile, and seeing her so excited.